Yeah, hello. Hello, farming boy, and I'm farmer Alex, Ben, and CD. I hear you went on a bit of a trip yesterday, CD. By the way, I'm going to be using hard worker on this because reasons. I'm going to be using the hard worker on the plow. I'll need to find something to do, but I'm sure I'll figure something out. Hello, Stripes. Oh, from Devon. Very cool indeed. Right. Let's let you go. And in the meantime... Hang on, you're still saying you're blocked by something. Are you being confuzzled by the little bales? I hope those small bales don't get in the way. Really do, because they are not worth the time nor the effort. So I just need to try and find something to do, because I don't want to bore all you guys with plowing for the first like bit of the stream. It's too wet to do some. I could stack the round bales. Yeah, let's do that. It's gonna be the best of a number of options. I'm only really gonna do this until the field is plowed as well. Notification wasn't changed. It should have been. Oh, I forgot to hit save. Yeah. I forgot to hit save on Twitch. That's what went wrong with the notification. Small bales are only good for horses. In real life, in Roma 2, I feel you could easily get over 400. Yeah. Well, in real life, that's what small bales are used for. Is, they use as bedding and feed for the horses. Hey Austin, how's it going, dude? I know that it looks like we're just moving the bales from one shed to another because we kind of are, but we do need to kind of stack these boys up a bit, so. Somewhat pointless, but at the same time needs to be done. Kind of work. Hey, DMF. You're out of school today because your lip hurts. It's an odd reason to be out of school, but okay. You were in the ER yesterday. You see, it's probably the second bit there that's why you're missing school today, Austin. Because usually emergency room means more than just, it's sore, please help. Make it unsore, please. Yeah, it looks like I know what I'm doing with this bale stacking. In reality, I'm just... no, it doesn't. In reality, I'm just kind of making a faff of it. You might have bit your lip. Stop licking batteries, then what? I'm really just tired today for some reason. I don't know why. So if I'm blinking a lot more than usual, it's because my eyes are just oddly sore. So what? Yep. Are dirty. Just give you a quick wipe down with the jumper and hope that's gonna get rid of the majority of it. No, that's not worked at all. You were saying my ass? Yeah, I'm gonna put on my glasses in the hopes this helps. You wanna be on it all from 6 to 9 tonight? Because your school's open even? Fair enough. Nerd. There we go. That might help. It might not. I do not know. So, I don't really have a plan for today's stream, if you didn't notice by the fact that I kept repeating I need to find something. That I needed to find something to do. Yeah, there's no real plan today. It's just, doing a few odd jobs. Hey, Stig. How's it going today, dude? And odd jobs do apparently include moving all of the bales. Or at least as many as I can be bothered with today. Because I can almost guarantee you I'm going to just give up at some point. Is there ever a plan? Sometimes there is. Sometimes there is a plan. Sometimes it's just kind of a case of I would like to do this, but there is stuff that needs to be done first. Like, I'd like to be working on making hay right now. But the fact that it's raining kind of threw a spanner in the works there. I feel like the way that I'm trying to stack these bales is just asking for trouble, by the way. Like, I'm looking at it now and I'm just like, this is just asking for me to put out the wrong bale at the wrong time and bring it all down. Doing hay in the rain is not a good idea. Well, it's not possible seasons is kind of a better point. So I have to wait until the rain finishes up. And just kind of pass the time until then. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn on 5 times acceleration for funsies. And hope that the rain starts easing off in the meantime. Leave bales everywhere, he'll do one spot, your computer has a seizure and dies. Yeah, I'm thinking that I might not be using... Hang on a second. Did I get... For... Yeah, for you... And I could use... Could totally use this, but I think we got something... I think we've got a bale fork for this, do we not? Helper C's completed their task. Sweet. Let's go over and get you off that, and we can actually start fast forwarding time a bit better then. Does anybody remember if I actually did get a bale fork for the skid steer? Because I legitimately cannot remember. Looks like there's a bit missed at the bottom actually. Let's just spin this around and just go on a little quick sweep of the field. If I did, it's probably the shop. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, but I don't recall there being a skid steer for... or a bale fork for the skid steer. I'll check in a minute. Wish there was a JCB skid steer or test skid. The forestry cage. Yeah, that'd be nice, but at the same time, I guess the intention is that the JCB's kind of a forestry design, I guess, is the logic there. You'd love a test skid full stop. That'd be nice. That would definitely be of a tasty variety of things. Right, are these bales being destroyed by the rain? This is kind of my next question. Yes, fantastic. So that's that field done. Let's get time acceleration zipping along. The rain has stopped. So now we can get to work on... I think we can get to work on the mowing. The grass isn't fully grown though. Let's just continue time acceleration going then. It's gonna be nice to have in game, to be fair. Great demand at Bale Sell Point, and it's about to rain again. There's more rain. Just what we needed. Right, let's stop this at about 9 o'clock. Put this here. And hopefully that's not grown. Ah. Well, we're gonna need to mow the grass either way. Hey, MJ. And Llama Kid. King. Llama Kid? Hello. Where did I put the mower? Did I leave it over at field 34? No, I didn't leave it over at field 34. It's over here somewhere. I just can't remember where exactly I put it. There's a bucket for the skid steer. Ah! There it is. What do I think of This Is Ireland? I've not really had a look at This Is Ireland, to be honest. I don't tend to look at that many maps anymore. Just because if I were to play every map that I think looks good, I would constantly be changing maps. And it would just kind of make the problem of people get really bored of maps really quickly a lot worse, and I'd never really get anything done in game. Okay, which genius put both of these on the same control? Okay, there we go. Hey, Greek dude. How's it going today, dude? Have a look at the New Holland Haybine mower on Yes Mods. It's really good. Oh, yeah, things that I meant to check. Did I get, Number one, is this the Haybine from Yes Mods? No. Number two, did I get a... I did not get a bale fork for the skid steer. Okay. Things what I didn't know, what I do what know now. That is information. Yeah, I thought I was using the Haybine from Yes Mods, apparently not. Trying to pick up watermelons between the rains today by me. Trying to stay awake today. I am insanely tired and I don't know why. I'm just not in a wakey mood. Also, Alex, the problem with Haybine from Yes Mods is this series... Have I seen it? I don't think so. The problem is this series, I want to try and keep the machinery somewhat static in terms of like what I have on the map. So I don't particularly want to be swapping out this mower for a different one just because the other one's better. That's why, despite there being, I would argue, some much better tractors than the ones that I'm using, I'm continuing to use these, despite the fact they don't really fit the map. I'm gonna be honest. Like, they're too small for the map. Ideal world, you use big equipment on this map, but, you know, you can get away with the smaller stuff, and that's what I'm trying to show. I've said this a lot, but I'm trying to show that you can use smaller stuff on this map. Does it take longer? Yes. No, with the rotary thing rather than the discs. I'm kind of fine with the discs. I'm kind of fine with this the way that it is. You know, it's an American style mower, and that's all that really matters to me. That's all I really care about, is that the mower is American style. It might not be ideal, but it's good enough. Like, ideal world, I'd have a self-propelled mower going through this field. But it would make no sense on field. Is it 52 I have? Yeah, field 52, which is... I bought it just because it's tiny. And I thought it was funny. If it has a warning triangle, it's American. I mean, there is a triangle, so it must be American by that logic. How do you press... yeah, it's one above the other, that makes sense. Hey, Sideways, how am I today? I'm good, just really tired and I don't know why. I'm kind of glad that... By the way, reason the stream started late was I was half asleep. And just completely lost track of time. Wasn't down to me, like, forgetting something, it was literally, I was just sat here half asleep. There is no real excuse. I think maybe I should have made myself a cup of tea, but it's a bit late for that now. I'll probably be in bed at some silly early hour by my standards. I need a loudly ticking clock. No, that would make me more tired, because then I'd hear the clicky rhythm and just be like, ah, that's pleasing. Or I'd forget that it was there and be very confused by a ticking noise. And then start, what, like 2 in the morning? See, here's the thing. Silly early for me is like midnight. And I've been to bed at midnight already this week. I'm thinking that might happen again tonight. Because I am just tired. Which is a good thing. I'm not going to pretend like it's a bad thing that I'm actually tired. After staying awake way too late last night. Hey, Massey, how you go? How's it do? How's it? Howard? Yes. Hello. I find it funny that on my older videos people come in to comment and they're like, dude, you have a terrible grasp of the English language. I'm like, I know, but it's the only one that I have any sort of grasp at. Midnight's a bit late for normal humans to go to bed. I mean, I guess so, but eh. Did Dave just have a stroke? Use my words, maybe. Up until a couple of months ago, a few weeks ago, I went to bed at like 6 AM every day. And like, I was getting up just before the stream, so I was completely awake for the streams. Problem is, I was getting nothing done. And now I'm getting up at like noon at the latest. I got up at noon today because I actually got up and did some stuff and then went back to bed for a bit. And I'm just tired now when I stream, which kind of sucks, but it's better than getting nothing done, because I actually have got stuff done today, including discovering that we basically have no water supply at the moment, which isn't exactly great. I went down to do the dishes earlier, and the tap had literally no water pressure. It was just kind of dripping out. Hey, pa. How's it going today, dude? You go to bed at 9 p.m. to get up at 2:30. If I go... Here's the thing. If I go to bed at midnight, I'm awake at 7 a.m. Which is great. And actually might... Oh. Hang on a second. That might work out, actually. Good now. I'm okay. Tired, but kind of waking up, which is good. Hey, Julian. Or Lulian. I'm not sure which, because YouTube's weird with capitals. Small part of the water pump tried itself. See, here's the thing, yes, we're on mains supply, so I think there might be a hole in a pipe somewhere. Either that or they've reduced supply for some reason because they're fixing something or replacing something, but yeah. Always fun to come down to do something that requires quite a bit of water. To find out there is none. Although there is. I filled a pot. It's possible the fire service was using hydrants for fire nearby as they're tied into the mains. Oh, do you know what, Foxtrot? You might be onto something. They might have been doing some training. Because where the fire station here is probably less than a mile in like that direction from where I'm sat, like directly in front of me. And they occasionally do training drills with the hoses and stuff. You may be onto something, Foxtrot. Because there was definitely water going through. It was just very low pressure. Your name is Romanian. Ah. I apologize for misplacing it for an L, but YouTube's font is atrocious, and all I's and all L's look the same. Red colors proving difficult to tone down without watching the rest of the colors. Only happens in FS19. Unfortunately, Mad Jack, your only option is to tone down everything. Your only option is to tone down every other color, including red. Like, my computer is actually set so that it produces much stronger reds. Just normally, because I have a red filter on it. So every red on my screen is much stronger than it should be. But I find that with the filter in place, I get much less eye strain. Station generally small drills, kind of, yeah. I don't know what was causing it, Foxtrot. I don't know if it's still happening, but it was bloomin' annoying, because kind of everything I was planning on doing was revolving around, oh, do the dishes and then make a cup of tea and then do this, then do that, and I never did the dishes, never made the cup of tea. I did get a sandwich though. But I'd love to know why it definitely wasn't a fire, because if it was, I would have heard the sirens. And my mother wouldn't have arrived in home being like, hey, everything's fine, hello. She would have been stood at the side of the road watching the fire. Or she would have at least mentioned something about it. Far as I'm aware, Foxtrot, it's actually volunteer. It's a very small station. Your work is buying you a new truck. Very nice. NM Farmer, what kind of truck are they buying you? Hang on a second, define truck. Is this American definition of truck or actual true definition of truck, which is what Americans call like a big rig? Something? Hey Paul, I'm reasonably well. American definition of a truck. So they're buying you a car. Well, it's part-time. Foxtrot. But I think there's no pay involved, so I think it might actually be like part-time volunteer kind of situation, kind of thing. What do I think about Thomas Cook collapsing? Mr. Jingles, this is gonna sound really mean. But I guess a lot of the news coverage about Thomas Cook has said the same thing. It was inevitable. Their business model wasn't fit for purpose in 2019. It wasn't fit for purpose pretty much in 2009. They could have been saved by getting rid of, or they could have at least lasted longer by getting rid of every single brick and mortar store, but I get that with that, it would have annoyed quite a lot of people, and there was no way Thomas Cook could have been saved without putting, you know, hundreds or thousands of people out of work. There was no golden bullet there. Thomas Cook was going to go under one way or another, and I heard today that Adria Airlines, part of the Star Alliance, has temporarily ceased operations. Although these temporary operation stoppages usually extend to permanent because they've run out of money. Simple fact of the matter is like, travel agents are, I don't think they're necessary anymore. I think they're a relic of, you know, the time before internet. They had their time and they had their place, and that's for the most part gone now. In an era where, you know, you can build your own package holiday on Expedia or something like that. I suppose Expedia is a travel agent. Who now is the big travel company? Expedia, I guess. Thomas Cook's problem was they were still high street in an era where everything was online. TUI, I guess TUI. I forget that they're a travel agency. Forget TUI do package holidays still. What days do I stream multiplayer? It's just Mondays. Because it tends to grate on me very quickly. And I just can't do multiplayer more than one day a week. I genuinely forgot TUI was a travel agency because they do so many they've got so many scheduled flights now that I just see TUI as an airline. I think the big problem with air travel right now is... Well, the biggest problem Thomas Cook had, over 50% of their aircraft was leased or rented. That wasn't a problem for them. That was smart business. A lot of... You'll find that a lot of airlines actually rent their aircraft. Like, Thomas Cook renting is no big deal. You'll see people saying, oh, it's a huge deal because they were renting aircraft and leasing aircraft, and that means they were running out of money. No, it means they were running their aircraft efficiently. If you own an aircraft, you've got to pay all the upkeep costs on that aircraft. And you got to run that aircraft absolutely ragged to make your money back. If you're leasing or renting an aircraft, especially a wet lease, sure, you got to pay for fuel costs. But you don't need to necessarily have as much expenses. And if you don't need as many aircraft, instead of trying to sell them, you can just say, well, I want to end the lease. You know, let the lease expire and return the aircraft to the leasing agency. Ryanair owns all their aircraft because they need insane amounts of them. Southwest in the US is much the same. They have, I think Southwest has 200 planes, 200 plus planes. Ryanair has 150 something. With orders for... Was it 130 something Max 8s? Thomas Cook owns a lot of hotels, a lot of money. Yeah. Thomas Cook always owed a lot of hotels a lot of money, though. That was kind of their business model, and that's part of the reason they collapsed. Was their debts just got too out of hand. Because they buy, like, packages in bulk and pay at some point down the road. Thomas Cook leased some planes from EasyJet as well. Would they have leased from EasyJet? They might have leased from EasyJet. I know that a lot of Italian airlines lease from Ireland. Including the Italian Air Force, which I find is quite interesting. Ryanair use over 400. Oh, that makes sense, actually. Which means Southwest, I think, have 800. I know Southwest have roughly twice the amount of aircraft Ryanair does. Thomas Cook had 2X Monarch aircraft. You find that a lot of airlines have, like, aircraft from former airlines that have already collapsed because they get sold off cheap. Yeah, the single 700 is basically their biz jet. So you don't see it pretty often up in the air. The 700 lives at East Midlands, and it's used for doing circuit training because the type rating for 700 and 800 737 is pretty much identical. The only difference between 7 and 800 737 is there's two differences. One is the fuel capacity and therefore range. The other is the length of the aircraft itself. The entire cockpit, like, you can train a pilot on a 737 700 and they'll be fine for an 800. There is no difference in the cockpit. In much the same way, and this is a fun one, you might notice if you look through Thomas Cook's fleet, or former fleet, that it was all Airbus A320s and A330s. There's actually a very simple reason for that, other than them all being Airbuses. The reason that Thomas Cook only flew Airbus A320s and A330s is because they've got a common type rating. And what that means is, if you, will say, are rated and licensed to fly an Airbus A320, and your airline also flies the Airbus A330, Aer Lingus do the same thing, by the way. The A320 and A330 cockpits are so similar that you can get rated on one and be rated for both. Boeing don't really have that as an advantage. You gotta get rated on each individual type. But Airbus, the cockpits are also similar, that they can actually allow for multiple ratings, which is nice. So I've already seen an airline that flies Airbus A320s and A330s. It's actually a cost-cutting measure. Aer Lingus do it. British Airways don't, which I find kind of odd. Considering the majority of their fleet is A318, well, one 318, some 319s, some 320s, some 321s. They're all a common rating with the 330, but minor differences, just especially the 318, because that's got a special button that allows them to land at London City. But I guess BA is so big that they can get away with having silly numbers of planes. Same with Emirates and those kind of airlines. Anyway, plan for the remainder of the stream, the remaining hour, is hopefully, I don't see this happening, hopefully this grass is gonna dry out and become hay. If it doesn't, that puts a big spanner in the works for me, because I was planning on making hay right now. Like, this is supposed to be hay. If this doesn't become hay, that's a huge spanner in the works, because I was gonna get cows in the upcoming springtime and work with them with the hay from this year and next year in seasons. If we don't get any hay, we don't get any cows. Like, plain and simple. That there's no one without the other. If we don't get hay, we'll get some silage and we'll sell off the bales that come from it. That's what we're trying to... Yeah, that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to zip time through once I've got the hay tedded. Or the grass tedded, and see if we can't get lucky. What's the... Hey Welsh, what's the weather forecast like? Okay, so it should be dry. Should be dry, and it looks like it's going to be good drying, so we might get lucky and get some hay. I am concerned, but we'll see what happens. The real question is going to be, when will the remaining crops come in? Because I'll be selling them in the winter. What does winter look like for crop sales, by the way? Wheat is going to be spectacular in the winter. Barley as well. Oats as well. Canola is actually best sold off in the autumn, so we're going to lose a bit of money there. Sunflowers... If I can get to the tail end of winter, will be fine. Soybeans the same. Corn is going to be towards the start. So I'm just kind of trying to figure out when I want to be selling my crops. Because best case scenario here is we make an absolute metric butt ton from the crops. And we have the big truck to move them all at once and get the biggest bang for the buck, or biggest buck for the bushel. Question really is when to sell. Rules say I gotta sell in the winter. They don't say when exactly. So I can sell over multiple... Where am I going? Oh yeah. This is a tractor from the case pack. No, this is one from a separate pack entirely. Also, hey Jake Skaggerland. This is one from a different pack entirely. It's actually just on its own. The Case International 1086, I've missed my turn off now. It's really nice. Downside is these quote-unquote care wheels that I've got on. They look like care wheels, they're not. I have crop destruction turned on. I cannot use this tractor in a field that has crops in. Otherwise I will lose the crops. Another thing, you can see we got an animal trailer parked up. That's what I'm going to be moving the cows in once we get them, if we get them. I'm hopeful that we will. But I've got kind of everything I need to get this farm functioning fully. Some of the decisions that I made for machinery might not have made sense on day one when I was starting up the map, but now that we're getting up to the period where I'm going to want to be selling crops off, they actually make a lot more sense. Like, sure, we've been paying maintenance on some bits of equipment like the big truck, or both the big trucks, the entire time, but I feel it's worthwhile. Outside tires look like cage wheels. I think they are, but like they don't interact like care wheels at all. What map is this? This is Lone Oak. It says so in the, or it should say so in the title. I always make sure to put the name of the map in the title of the stream. I don't like just being like, here's a farm sim map. No, that's not fair to the map maker who put so much time into, you know, getting a map out there to not name their map. Promote every map that I play. It's kind of the point. It's in the title. Sweet. Yeah, if ever you're confused and you're watching one of my streams what map I'm playing, it's in the title. It is always, always, always in the title. It would be unfair of me to not do that and not promote the map that I'm playing. After all the work that, in this case, Oxygen David and Bullet Bill put in. Mainly Bullet Bill, to get the map made in the first place. Oxygen David did a conversion up to 19, got it sorted up to giant standards, got it released. But, yeah, props to both of them for this map. It is a map, I will say, that is probably best experienced with huge equipment. Like, I'm playing it a completely different way to basically everybody else on YouTube, just to be different. Just because this is more my own personal playstyle with the smaller stuff. Yeah, you go to 90% channels that are featuring Lone Oak, you'll see that they've got stonking great huge equipment on it. Because that's the way they want to play the map. Or that's the way they prefer playing maps. A lot of people play American maps only with huge equipment. I'm like, no, that's not how American farming is. I know that I'm not from America, but I see so many small American tractors coming out and small American bits of equipment that I can say with some confidence that America isn't all about, you know, throwing gigantic tractors at the problem and hoping for the best. So once we get this done, hopefully, we'll just need to wait a few in-game hours. This is on Xbox. This map should be on Xbox. You'll have to check the mod hub, Jake, but I think it's on Xbox. Bear in mind, I only play PC, so I only really keep track of what's released on PC. Yeah, that's what the title should be. Thank you, Paul. Yeah, I don't know what maps come out for PC and what maps are being developed for PC. Because that's what I play. Yes, it's on Xbox. Thank you, Foxtrot. And Paul. So there you go, it's on console. I figured it should be. But, there's always that nagging doubt in the back of my mind that's like, maybe Giants were being weird with it. It's a good map for cracking out the big buds and the like. If you got some insanely huge equipment that you can't really fit on any other map, this map's the one for it. This map's the one that you'll be looking at for a bit of funsies. Also, this is one of my favourite songs in this entire playlist that I use. Savannah by Philly K and the Diviners. What do I think the best PC is for FS19? I mean, there is no best PC. The best PC for FS19 is whichever one you can afford that can run it. So in my opinion, my PC is best for FS19. It's not ideal, but it's the best one I've got. What do I think of This Is Ireland? Do you know, I've not really looked at that map. I'm not particularly looking for a new map at the moment because I know Oxy's working on Shamrock, and if I were to come off... Here's my conundrum. Oxy's working on Shamrock at the moment. If I were to come off Oakfield in the single player and move to This Is Ireland, then I'd be barely started on that. I feel like I'm barely started on Oakfield, to be honest. And I'd be moving to Shamrock almost immediately. That would be my luck. So I'd prefer to hold on Oakfield and wait for Shamrock Valley as the Irish map that I want to play. And I'm going to be playing Shamrock Valley for a while. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I want to play Shamrock Valley for a long ass time, so expect to see that on the channel for a lot longer than maybe it should be on it. Because it's fictional, but it for some reason means a lot to me. Shamrock Valley. You got 5 maps on the go? I could not do that. I'm good with like 2 single player maps and whatever's on the multiplayer. And that's me quite happy with maps. I can't play that many because I get confused as it is with what equipment I got on what map. I don't need like 3 extra maps confusing me even more than I already am. That's the way that I think about it. You're thinking of dropping 2. Yeah, you maybe... I would. It used to be the case that I only ever played the 1 map at a time. I used to only do like 1 map at a time and just be like, hey, I'm on this map again. Look at me. I'm tempted to go back to doing that. And just do... See, if I were to do that, I'd just do Insanity all the time. Because I'm really kind of enjoying the challenge here. But I don't know. I think, with Saturday coming, I always say, like, I always have some sort of weird plan for Saturday. I think Saturday's plan for me today, this week, is going to be dealing with the disaster that is underneath my desk. Because I want to play some Euro Truck on the channel again. Problem is, I need the wheel to do that. Well, there's 2 problems. One of which I can sort today. One of which I can place an order for the thing I need today. The problem with doing Euro Truck is, number one, I need head tracking, which I don't want to wear the hat because it's painful. So I need to get one of the, probably like the track hat mount that just velcros on to headphones and use that. And that's very doable. That's not really an issue. It's something that I will probably purchase later on today after the stream. The other problem is I need to get the wheel working. And to get the wheel working, I need to sort out the mess under my desk that you guys can't see. Which, by the way, is the reason that I've been using the Xbox controller so much, other than the fact that I just can't be bothered, like, putting it up and down. Clip-on tracker, Trackhat do one, and that's what I'm going to be buying after the stream, so that I can get head tracking in Euro Truck, and possibly in Flight Sim, actually. I might try that in Flight Sim too, because that'd be kind of cool in X-Plane. So that's the tedding done, at long last. Would I play Truckers MP? Hell to the no. Not a hope of me playing Truckers MP. Played it before, hated it, not going back. Considering the fact that their rules are at best inconsistent, at realistically stupid, not a hope of me going on Truckers MP. Like, they have banned, to my knowledge, to my knowledge at least, two people who have done nothing but promote their stuff and work with them and you know, try and get them to succeed, and they've banned them for dumb reasons. So no, there's no reason for me to play Truckers MP. And people just drive like idiots on there, but the people who promote it get banned, not the idiots that are constantly just ramming everybody. Would clip-on tracker work on PS4? I don't think head tracking is a thing on PS4, I'm afraid, Paul. I'm sure I'm gonna get some Truckers MP fanboys in here at some point just screeching at me that, hey, you don't know what you're talking about. Well, I know enough. I know enough to know that I don't want to touch that with a barge pole. Right. I'm trying to figure out what to do next. Are there any other fields that need harvesting? That would be... No. That would have been too convenient, I suppose. They banned VF during his 24-hour stream. They banned Mark Armstrong despite the fact he was a mod and did nothing but help them. And if that's how they treat people who help them, I don't want to engage with them. If that's what you get for helping them, why would you want to? Why would you want to promote anything they do? I'm trying, by the way, to figure out something to do, because, like... Did I play FS17? Yes! I've played all the farm sims since FS13. FS13 is when I started. I played 13, 15, 17, and now 19. And, I'm gonna be honest, it's nice seeing the game progress. Kind of every 2 years. Even year on year with the big DLCs. Like, there's always progression being shown. Some of it good, some of it bad. Like, I think everybody's agreed that the way that the placeable system works and the terrain modification system works in FS19 isn't great. It is in need of improvement. But you know, it's a different idea at the very least. Are you gonna turn to hay? You're not gonna turn to hay, are you? You are gonna turn to hay. Okay, screw the rule about working time because I need to get hay together. And I need to get hay together right the hell now. You grab... We're gonna work this as well as I can. Can't wait for Class DLC. Yeah, Class DLC I'm looking forward to big time. I'm still stunned the Giants managed to get that. Managed to get the class license. Although I will say... I will say, my prediction from the start of FS17 where I said class wouldn't be coming, or if they did, it would be the Metal Edition, 100% correct. Just want to pat myself on the back there for correctly calling class being the Metal Edition. Oh yeah, just lower that and it auto starts. There we go. So the problem I face is we're in late summer and I need to get the grass mowed again in late autumn. So I can't just leave this on the ground into autumn because number one, it'll start deteriorating into just nothingness. And number two, I want to try and maximize the amount of hay we get. And autumn really is the time to work on crop growth cycles. And not grass growth cycles. Cattle and crops must have lost the class license, they have chance of it now. I don't know if they've lost it because they've still been promoting class equipment in what little they've been putting out. I think what happened was class lost faith in cattle and crops and gave Giants a much better license than what cattle and crops ever had. I can't see cattle and crops succeeding now as a game. Between the seemingly endless development cycle, the the tiny information drips that they send out from time to time, and the fact that they don't really have anything on Giants now, I can't see cattle and crops really going anywhere. The only thing they have is the hyperrealism, but the problem there is that's all well and good, but it takes so long to do anything in cattle and crops that by the time you're finished doing one thing, you're like, well, I'm bored now, let's just finish up for the day. Which, by the way, is why I don't even have cattle and crops installed anymore. I backed cattle and crops thinking, oh, this will be really cool. And I regret it, and I don't even have the game installed anymore. It's not a YouTube-friendly game. It takes too long to do anything. Coming from the person who is more than happy to spend 2 hours like planting a field on a stream. It takes too long to do anything in cattle and crops. And I'm with you there, Paul. I think cattle and crops are dead. What I might do, just for the sake of you guys, is... Here's my conundrum. Right? And it is a conundrum. I could fast forward time, but I'd lose all the hay. I could continue working like this, but you guys can't see a damn thing. They're kind of my two realistic options. There is a third one. Third option is that I call it a stream here and actually continue off camera, get all the hay baled up off camera, and we come back next week and start working on the autumny things. PS4 and auto download for the class DLC. I wish I could do that. Like it'd be. I'm not going to be having it. I'm not going to have a Steam edition of the class DLC. That much I can tell you. I'll be going with the. No matter what way I get it, I'll be getting a version from Giants. Continue as is. Yeah, exactly, Llama King. Hey guys, thanks for joining this Candle Crop stream where we've been spreading slurry. Come back tomorrow where we'll continue spreading slurry and maybe get halfway in this field. It's like, I get what Candle Crops is trying to do. They're actually doing what they want to do very well. I'm not knocking them on, like, quality of what they are trying. I'm knocking them on the fact that what they want to do is stupid. It's not a viable business model. Coming from somebody who, like, you know, does multiple hour flights and flight sims, Candle Crops is boring as hell. You can see a good bit, plus you like raking, so keep going. Yeah, I'm just concerned about, you know, the visibility for you guys. Because I don't like working into the dark in Farm Sim all that much. That's why I usually skip night, by the way. Is I don't like doing streams where it's primarily like black. Because even on my stream or my screen, I'm struggling to see what anything outside of the 2 light cones, or I guess 4 light cones. By the way, if you're on YouTube and you're enjoying the stream, please do feel free to like and subscribe and stuff. It does help. Lets me know that I should maybe continue what I'm doing, because, you know, if you hit the like button, that lets me know you're enjoying. And if you're on Twitch and you haven't done so yet, consider throwing the old follow down. Very, very much appreciated in general. Don't usually do that show, but hey, why not? Come on, guys, like, smash the like button. Yeah. I'm struggling to find the, I'm gonna be honest, I'm struggling to find the drive to stream lately. Like, to stream Farm Sim, and to an extent anything else, because the views on streams just keep going down and down and down. It's very difficult to get the motivation to stream when when I know it's going to be very quiet and I know chat's not going to be very lively at all, and it's just going to sap all of my energy to do so. It's very difficult and it's not fun, and it makes me wonder if it's worth streaming a lot of days. But I think I'm getting burnt out in Farm Sim. I think I am burnt out on Farm Sim right now. The problem is as few views as Farm Sim gets, it's the thing on the channel that gets the most views. So, to keep the channel effectively running, I need to do Farm Sim. That's my conundrum and my problem that I face. Was in Bus Simulator? Yes, I think I've got a key to that, but it's not something that I'd be all that interested in, to be honest. I'm not a big bus fan. Try the games of Avant. I have! Nobody watches them. This is the problem with YouTube and streaming is like if you're known for doing one game, then you gotta do one game, and especially Farm Sim, people just get angry and leave if you don't do Farm Sim all the time. You must only be interested in Farm Sim. It must be your only interest. You're not even allowed to talk about other games. It's like, no, because I'm human. I want to do other games. And I do Flight Sim one day a week, and people come in complaining about Farm Sim stuff. And the temptation to just start banning people for that is real. Because if you're not going to show the game that I want to play some respect, I'm not going to show you any respect either. But some clever solutions to mirrors and key bindings. Use Giants took notes. Giants have pretty much every key binding used, though. There's no interesting solutions Giants can use. They've used them all. Aaron, how's it going? Good enough, I guess. Just frustrated with YouTube as always. And tired as well, which doesn't help. Oh, I tried streaming on Twitch. Jake, I'm literally streaming on Twitch right now. That's it, their approach is restricted key bindings, key mapping and wheel choices address the issue. Giant's approach isn't restrictive at all, they're literally using every key binding that is possible. They're like... The limitation Giants have is Xbox controllers and PS4 controllers. There's no limitation on what third-party stuff you can use in Farm Sim. The limitation is Xbox and PS4 controllers, and on console, every binding is taken. There is no way to get around the fact that every binding is taken on console. There's no cheeky solution to that. They're all gone, they're all used. There's nothing else physically possible on console. Starting at the server, thank you very much, Stig. Circle wheels, choice wheels. You mean slow the game down artificially because... No, that's dumb. Like, choice wheels and stuff are great for when you've got multiple stuff select. I'd agree with your point on, you know, seed selection. That'd be a nice change for Giants to make, but I mean, you'd still have a key binding there to bring that up. There's no magic bullet Giants have that'll free up 6 different bindings on console. It's a big problem that, like, it's the big thing that I always see people complaining about is, oh, this should be put into the game, this should be put into the game. That's great, there's no bindings available. But a keyboard, yeah, but the keyboard isn't what Giants are catering towards. The limiting factor is what's available on console controller. You can put a million and one extra features in the PC version, but that'll just mean a ton of extra work for Giants for very little reward, because they sell way more copies than console. And the focus of Giants is to try and get as much as possible parity between the PC and console versions of the game. So we'll say somebody playing on Xbox can, by and large, have the same functions as somebody playing on PC. I think, Paul, the real limiter is actually the Xbox controller. And Stig, there's no admins actually in the stream at the moment, other than me. Plus, we don't need a pressure washer. There's no need for a pressure washer on the server, that's pointless. Let the machinery get dirty. Dirty machinery is happy machinery. Farming boy, I don't trust that with seasons. I would otherwise. Do not trust GS set time to, with seasons enabled. Because that could very easily corrupt the save game. Hey, Turks. Hey, Cart, are you in agreement that a pressure washer on the server is completely pointless because the machinery looks better when it's filthy? Because that's my opinion on it. Yep, yeah. I feel like a pressure washer is just straight up a waste of money in multiplayer, or even in the game as a whole. Because like, dirt doesn't do anything. It just looks bad. Well, you know, it makes the equipment slightly browner. Doesn't even look bad. In many cases, it looks better. I need to start being concerned about the wear on these tractors, by the way. Because I just realized that the John Deere here is down to about 50%. Hey, Venus. How are you today? Tired. And frustrated with a lot of stuff. Otherwise good. Well, that too, Paul, yeah. Like, I'm gonna be honest, on this map I don't think I have a pressure washer, I shouldn't. I don't see the need for one. The dirt doesn't have any function. Like, if it was something that increased the fuel usage, then yeah, you can be damn sure that I'd be pressure washing these things immediately. If it did some sort of damage or increased the rate of wear on equipment, then yeah, I'd be pressure washing everything all the time, but it does nothing. Don't see the point in it. I'm doing good, Brendan. How are you? Doing good? Good to hear. I may need to finish the stream very shortly. Because my stomach's doing some unhappy rumblings. Which means I haven't got to this bottom of what usually aha! Ah! I've got to the bottom of what's causing my stomach issues. Ish. Kind of. Dirt does slightly increase the wear. Yeah, but it doesn't do it drastically. Plus, here's the fun thing. A lot of the equipment that you can have in game that can get dirty, or can wear, like bale trailers. What does wear do to bale trailers? Does it make them hold less bales? No. Does it make them drive slower? Probably not. Does it have any real actual effect on something like a bale trailer? No. No, it does not. So, why would you bother cleaning a bale trailer? Because or fixing up a bale trailer when it's fully worn? Well, because it looks worse in many cases. Oh, it's an interesting reason. Do you know what, guys? It is getting too dark now for me to justify streaming this, and I do need to get the hay baled up. It is starting to get a bit too dark to justify continuing the stream. Does money muck leave them all dirty? Yeah, mucky tractor, happy tractor. Like, are you guys happy with how dark it is on the stream at the moment? Because I can't continue, but it is. I'm starting to get concerned by how dark it's getting. Because now I can very definitely only see what's being lit up by the tractor. It's fine. I mean, okay, you guys are the ones watching it. On my screen, it is very, very dark now. You can just see what's lit up. See, that's my concern. You think it's fine too, Llama King? Because I don't want it to be just mainly black with some light cones. But at the same time, I don't want to fiddle with the time in case it corrupts the save. And I don't want to fast forward through till morning because that'll get rid of about half the hay. I'm really not sure what to do. Because, like, either way, I'm going to be continuing this. And it's just going to be a case of how I continue it, whether it's on camera or off. Do what I think is right. I don't know what's right, that's the problem. That's the entire problem, is I'm not entirely sure which is the better option. Just gonna tab out and check something. That'll probably help me make up my mind. Okay. Um... You got soil on your map so you can cart it? That strikes me as rather pointless, to be honest. Well, I'm streaming tomorrow. I'll be on Oakfield tomorrow. Farm sim. Keep her lit, it's grand. See, I really don't see the point in adding like soil and sand and stuff to maps. If it's something for you, then you know I'm not going to complain about it. But it's just something that never really, I don't know, never really made sense to me, because all you can do with it is move it from A to B. It doesn't really have a function, never really has, and I kind of doubt that it ever really will in Farm Sim. Check your sell points and you can sell it. Ah! How do you generate this soil then? How do you generate the soil? Do you have to buy it at the shop to sell it off for probably loss? Okay, is there some way of generating it? Because I think sell points just add everything that can be put into a map at this point. You add it in GE first. What, the soil? This is making less and less sense as we go on, fast farming. If it was compost, I'd be really interested, especially if you can spread it. Because in an ideal world, insanity would not allow bale cells. Or would not allow me to sell any bales ever for any reason. I would have to turn them all into compost. This is the kind of game that I'd like to play. Is like, I'm not allowed to sell bales ever for any reason. If I want to get rid of them, I have to compost them down, because that'll generate compost which you can use as fertilizer. And maybe I'd allow myself to sell the compost, but not the bales themselves. Right, that's this field done as much as I can see. Which isn't very much. And I am going to call the stream here, guys. It's too dark in game now. I'm going to do field 52 off camera. And move the bales as well off camera. It's just too dark now. And I don't want to fiddle the time in case it screws with the save game. Or actually crashes the game. I don't want to play that game of Russian roulette. So, I'll call the stream here. I'll be back tomorrow on Oakfield. Yeah, until then, stay safe and goodbye.